All right, Bulldog. So I decided to do a video here on something I've been getting a couple of requests to do. I'm going to do a video on Elliot Rodger's last video, and I'm not doing this for the attention, and I'm not doing this because I condone his actions in any way. But I want to do this because I think this is an important thing to talk about. And there's a lot of problems here and a lot that we can learn from Elliot and from his psychology that may be affecting a lot of you out there. And I had some of the same thoughts and some of the same ideas that he had a long time ago before I learned what I call the Bulldog mindset, before I learned how to become a man. And I think there's a problem in society today in general of boys not learning how to become men. And it's not necessarily your fault. It's a lot of this bias against masculinity. Basically, society as a whole is telling men that they're wrong for being men, not teaching men how to be men. And that's the problem. And that's one of the reasons why I created this channel. That's one of the purposes of the channel. Doesn't mean that you have to be a man to watch this channel. There's plenty of content for anyone, but I definitely have content specifically for you guys because I was there at one point in my life and I want to help you. So anyway, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button down below and join the Bulldog mindset. I got this comment from one of my videos, and I've gotten some questions, some emails about this too. And he says, please do a video response on Elliot Rodger's quote, last video. It gives me chills down my spine. It's creepy as fuck. It's the saddest thing in the world. All right. So actually my computer crashed while I was trying to do this video. So hopefully this time it works and I don't have to start over again.
Hi, Elliot Rodger here. Well, this is my last video. It all has to come to this. Tomorrow is the day of retribution.
And I think I would say here, like you can see from his video, the hesitation in his voice, almost the tears, right? Like he's embarrassed. He feels bad. He's actually like on the verge of crying here. Because of this embarrassment of what it is, frustration. You can sense here like this saddened frustration.
The day in which I will have my revenge against humanity, against all of you. For the last 8 years of my life, ever since I've hit puberty, I've been forced to endure an existence of loneliness, rejection, and unfulfilled desires. All because girls have never been attracted to me.
It's interesting too. I think, just the idea that he thinks this is such a bad thing. It's such torture, right? That and again, I've been here before. I think a lot of you are maybe still here. And this idea that, going 8 years without girls being attracted to him is such a bad and horrible thing. And is such a torture to go through in life. It's not bad. I mean, again, it's not the most pleasant thing in our minds when we're this young sometimes, or we haven't experienced the world, or we haven't really put ourselves through actual pain and mental toughness and have developed the Bulldog mindset. We think that these little things like girls not liking us or whatever is real suffering, that you've really had to suffer being alone. Again, another reason to develop the Stoic philosophy, to be comfortable with yourself, to be comfortable with who you are, to become a man who doesn't get caught up on this little thing, not looking for that external validation, not looking for fulfillment and completeness in someone else, but finding in yourself. Again, it doesn't mean that you don't want sex or companionship or any of those things. Those are fine, but when you're so tied up into it, where it is torture, where it is suffering for you to not have it, that's a bad place to be. And I've been there. I've been exactly in this place, speaking similar things to what he said here and feeling this way. So I can definitely relate to this, but I learned a better way. I learned that this was not true suffering, that developing my mental toughness, putting myself through actual real suffering, right? Training myself physically, mentally, developing mental toughness, that is the true suffering. And that resulted in good as opposed to bad. When you think you're suffering, okay, that's when you have a negative effect.
Girls gave their affection and sex and love to other men, but never to me. I'm 22 years old, and I'm still a virgin. I've never even kissed a girl. I've been through college for 2.5 years. More than that, actually. And I'm still a virgin. It has been very torturous. College is the time when.
And I'll stop here too, just to say, like, there's a couple of things I want to kind of point out. One, that this guy, first of all, he's not a bad looking guy, right? I mean, I have seen some grotesque looking guys that are able to get laid, that are able to get girls, plenty. Okay, this guy by any means is not at all. Okay, he just thinks that, and he believes that, and a lot of you believe the same thing, and it's not true. Okay, I believe that myself at one point. Okay, so you have to understand, and that's also not the critical component here. It's the confidence, right? It's a lot of that. The other thing I want to talk about here, as I'm thinking about it here, and then we'll get into the main thing that he said, which is his voice, the way that he's coming across. It's very, very quiet. I mean, he's sitting in the car, right, where no one can hear him. He's recording into the video camera, and he's still very cautious and very trepidatious about how he's speaking. There's no confidence, there's no projection, there's no manliness in that voice. This is not something that is intrinsically him. He's not stuck in this. He just hasn't developed this. He hasn't worked on this. He hasn't put in the work. And again, I missed the point, at the last point I stopped, but I wanted to talk about the torture and the whole, like, suffering. You can't really suffer. You haven't really faced rejection if you haven't done anything. A lot of you, again, in my mindset, when I was thinking this way, I was like, oh, I've been rejected. I've been, I've suffered, but I hadn't actually done anything. I hadn't actually gone out and talked to girls. I hadn't actually gone out and expressed my intent. I hadn't actually been rejected. I had self-rejected. Many of us, we self-reject, right? You may be in that position right now where you feel like you're rejected. You feel like girls don't like you. You feel like all this stuff. I get it. I totally understand. But have you actually gone out there and witnessed it? Because the real rejection that you actually face is much less harsh than the self rejection or the implied rejection or the rejection by assumption. Because when you actually go out there and put yourself out there and get rejected, yes, you have the feeling of being rejected, but you have more so the feeling of courage, which tends to be stronger, right? When I was first learning this, when I was first learning how to overcome my social anxiety, when I was first learning to get out there and talk to people and talk to girls and to do this kind of thing, I didn't have a huge amount of success, but I felt damn good about myself. I felt so good about myself because I was doing shit that other people were afraid to do, because I was learning, because I was progressing, because I was growing. So if you think you're suffering right now, what are you really suffering? How hard have you really tried? Have you actually really developed yourself? Right. And again, I would say to what he's saying here is that just being in college, it doesn't automatically happen. Like, you don't automatically are entitled to this stuff. None of you are. I'm not, you aren't, he wasn't as well, right? If I could coach him, if I could have gotten on a Skype call with him, before this whole thing happened, I would have told him. I would have said, hey man, I totally get it. I totally understand your situation. But look, here's the thing. What have you actually done? Like, let's work on this. There's a ton of shit that you could do. There's a ton of things that you could do to work on, to develop yourself, right? To become a man, to develop the skills, the social skills that you need. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with you. He seems to think, just like I did, just like you may think, that there's something wrong with you. It's not how you look. It's not these attributes that you have. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with you. Okay, you think there is. I thought there was. He thinks there is. It was sad. It's sad because there was nothing that couldn't be overcome. And when you're frustrated, when you've gone a couple of years or whatever it is, and you haven't had results, you feel frustrated. But how much work have you actually put in? And I know some of you will say, oh yeah, well, Elliot, he had some videos, he talked to girls, he talked about all these things. He didn't really put in the effort. That's like a few times is not the effort. Okay, getting drunk at a party and like saying some stupid shit is not, like, I'm talking about putting in real solid effort. Like, you're trying to develop a skill, like you're trying to become a programmer, like you're trying to become a bodybuilder. Like, that amount of effort, that's what's required in order to develop and grow yourself socially. And some people, it does come more naturally. That's true. But they've had positive experiences. They've still gone through that. You have to assume that you have to do the work.
Everyone experiences those things such as sex and fun and pleasure. But in those years, I've had to rot in loneliness. It's not fair.
Life isn't fair. The world isn't fair. Nothing is fair. And you think that everyone experiences those things. They don't. I know. I know because I get the emails. I know because many of you watching these videos, you relate to this guy. I related to this guy for a while. I can tell you that you don't have a high lay count. Maybe you're virgins. It's fine. Okay. But the perception sometimes for those of you guys is that 90% of the people are normal and they're doing these things. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. There's more of you guys. There's more of people that are having these issues, right? Again, I would group myself originally in that group, but not anymore. But there's more of that. It's just a perception thing.
You girls have never been attracted to me. I don't know why you girls aren't attracted to me, but I will punish you all for it.
You don't know why. I'll tell you why. What you just said right there, right? That's not genuine. That's not. Why would you be attracted to someone who acts like a child, who would act like that? Again, I'm not saying this to make fun of him particularly, but are you acting that way? Do you have this attitude? Do you have this mindset that if someone doesn't do what you want, you're going to punish them? That's not true caring about another person. That's not providing any kind of real value. It's like, what are you doing for me? What can I get from you? Type of a viewpoint, and trying to, doing the wrong things. A lot of you guys are doing the wrong things, like trying to be nice for the purpose of getting something. If you're going to be nice, which I don't highly recommend as a strategy for mating, then at least don't have an ulterior motive, right? Just be kind for the purpose of being kind, right? And instead, this is what he's doing, right? And this is the thing is to, yeah, of course they're not going to be attracted to you when you're acting like that.
It's an injustice, a crime, because I don't know what you don't see in me. I'm the perfect guy. And yet you throw yourselves at all these obnoxious men instead of me, the supreme gentleman.
Again, a couple things here. One, don't take your pride in being the supreme gentleman. You can't catch a fish based on what bait that you think they would like. You got to you got to bait the hook to suit the worm, or suit the fish, right? Fish like worms. Okay. That it's, right out of Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you recognize what I'm saying here, but you can't just assume. You can't just assume that this is what people want, and stop taking pride in this stupid I'm a perfect gentleman. That's not what is wanted. And there's no everyone is a perfect gentleman because they're fucking timid and they're shy and they're afraid. That's why you're a perfect gentleman. That's why a lot of people. That was me for a while.
I will punish all of you for it. On the day of retribution, I am going to enter the hottest sorority house of UCSB. And I will slaughter every single spoiled, stuck-up, blonde slut I see inside there. All those girls that I've desired so much, they would have all rejected me and looked down upon me as an inferior man if I ever made a sexual advance towards them.
Couple things here. If you ever did you try? I think they would have seen you as more of a man if you did try. Okay, first of all, and for all of you guys out there, it's true. Like, you step up and you take what you want. You step up and you ask for what you want. You don't hide behind a false rejection of assumed rejection. Second of all, these girls that you've desired and wanted, right? And you said that you're a gentleman, yet if they don't like you, you kill them, right? I mean, again, and I'm not saying that all of you guys think the same way, but if you suddenly discard them and you're like, oh, they don't have any worth or value as human beings, I can dehumanize them because I only wanted them because I wanted what they could give me. I wanted their acceptance or approval. Again, check out the videos on not seeking external validation, then you weren't very true and very honest and very genuine to begin with. You weren't really the gentleman. Do you understand what I'm saying? You were actually the asshole. You said they were attracted to the assholes, but you were the asshole because you were the one who was duplicitous. You were the one who had an ulterior motive, an agenda, and who didn't really give a fuck about them, but pretended to be the nice guy who cared when you didn't really care.
While they throw themselves at these obnoxious brutes.
So become an obnoxious brute. Simple solution. You can do it. You're capable of it. It's not the truth, but there's some truth to it. So become what you must to get what you want. This is how life works.
I'll take great pleasure in slaughtering all of you. You will finally see that I am, in truth, the superior one, the true alpha male.
Let's talk about his little laughs and his. It's a show. It's a show. Yes, he actually did the act, but this is a show. It's sad. It's unfortunate. Let's talk about being the true alpha male. Do you I think I was just looking at a poster that said, those who stand behind us we protect, those who stand with us we respect, and those who stand in front of us we destroy, or whatever it is. And that's the truth. That's more of the, killing innocent people, like, or even having hatred toward them. Again, I'm trying to make this a more generalized video so you guys can understand that might not be at this point, but that's not the true alpha male. Like, being confident in yourself, not needing external validation. As a true alpha male, you don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks about you. You care about what you think about you. You care about your mission, your purpose in life. This is the problem. This is the issue. It's not superior. It's inferior, because superior is being the person that is so confident in themselves, so full of self-esteem and sureness of their actions and their direction in life, that they don't need someone else's approval or validation. Let's go on.
Yes. After I've annihilated every single girl in the sorority house, I'll take to the streets of Isla Vista and slay every single person I see there. All those popular kids who live such lives of hedonistic pleasure while I've had to rot in loneliness for all these years. They've all looked down upon me every time I tried to go out and join them. They've all treated me like a mouse. Well, now I will be a god compared to you.
Have they really though? I mean, I think again, it's a lot of times it's a self, the pre-rejection, right? Again, I'm not saying that people haven't made fun of him and people make fun of you. They made fun of me at times, but a lot of it was because of the assumption that I came in with, assuming that that would happen, and then that happens. Whereas I think, a lot of the people that I've met that are the quote, asshole jocks, they've actually been pretty cool. They've actually been the cooler people, the more accepting and the nicer people. Whereas the people that were in these little kind of nerdy cliques and the outcasts from society, they're the ones who actually rejected people and judged people, prejudged people. So just something to be aware of. Like, people are cooler than you. If you've seen people are cool, they'll probably be cool, right?
You will all be animals. You are animals, and I will slaughter you like animals. I'll be a god, exacting my retribution, and all those who deserve it. And you do deserve it, just for the crime of living a better life than me. All you popular kids, you've never accepted me, and now you'll all pay for it. And girls, all I've ever wanted was to love you and to be loved by you. I've wanted a girlfriend. I've wanted sex. I've wanted love, affection, adoration. But you think I'm unworthy of it.
It's interesting too. Again, like I said, The idea of saying that he wants love and to be loved, not true. Again, you don't love, it's not true love. Like you want what the other person is going to give you. And a lot of you guys, again, because I was in the same situation, I thought I was in love with so many girls that I had crushes on. I wasn't in love with them. I didn't actually really care about them. I cared about how they felt about me. It was more about confirming a belief in myself, in my own confidence, that I was a worthy person. That's what I was seeking from them, not actually caring about them. And that's the key thing to understand here, is that this is not correct. Like if you're in that situation, I was in that situation, and Elliot obviously was here. This is a fault. You're telling yourself a lie. You don't actually want to love. You don't actually want to quote be loved. You just want to experience the acceptance of another person, the desire of another person for your own self-esteem and ego. But if you find another way to fulfill your self-esteem and ego, and then you don't come across needy, and then you actually benefit other people's lives instead of you feeling like a leech to them. They feel like you're a leech.
That's a crime that can never be forgiven. If I can't have you, girls, I will destroy you. You denied me a happy life, and in turn, I will deny all of you life. It's only fair. I hate all of you.
So young and so early to give up on life. If I would have given up that early, man, I like there's so much time for a lot of you guys. Even like you could change your life completely in the next 5 years, honestly, if you're willing to put in the work.
Humanity is a disgusting, wretched, depraved species. If I had it in my power, I would stop at nothing to reduce every single one of you to mountains of skulls and rivers of blood. And rightfully so. You deserve to be annihilated.
Be a friend to someone who is socially awkward and needs a friend. Share what you learn. If you're learning to develop the Bulldog mindset and improve yourself, reach out to someone. Imagine what could have happened if someone could have reached out to this guy, to Elliot, and said, hey buddy, hey bro, let's hang out. Let's learn something. Let me teach you what I know. Let's go and figure this out. Like imagine if one of those cool guys had said that, right? How things could have changed, right? I mean, a lot of lives could have been changed and affected. Be that person. If you learn the path, share the path. That's why I'm here on this channel, is that I'm telling you guys, I'm admitting that I was very much like this guy at one point. Okay. Again, I probably would never have taken things to that extreme, but we're all capable of this same line of thought. Help someone who is in need. Be that person. Reach out.
And I will give that to you. You never showed me any mercy, and so I will show you none. You forced me to suffer all my life, and now I'll make you all suffer. I've waited a long time for this. I'll give you exactly what you deserve, all of you. All you girls who rejected me and looked down upon me and, treated me like scum while you gave yourselves to other men. And all of you men for living a better life than me. All of you sexually active men. I hate you. I hate all of you. I can't wait to give you exactly what you deserve. Utter annihilation. I am.
All right. So there you have it. Like I said, I mean, the big thing comes down to this is that didn't have a positive role of masculinity. didn't take the time, didn't understand the path. You guys don't have an excuse. You have the path now. You know, like I said, there's plenty of people to show you, to teach you. Go out there, put yourself out there, take the risks, right? Realize that life is unfair. That's fine. Life is unfair for everyone. And it doesn't matter. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to, how are you going to change your life? This is a very clear indication of the victim mindset. I want you to have the bulldog mindset. I want you to rise above. I want you to be stronger. I want you to grow. I want you to have the things that you want to have in life, but you've got to take action. You've got to take them. And I had to learn this. I sat there moping, sad, rejected, pre-rejecting myself without having gone through the effort. I guarantee you that if Elliot had found the path, had gone down the and done the work and developed himself, that things would have turned out differently, that he would have had success. He could have been extremely successful with women. He could have. He could have, you know, but he didn't realize that he had this desperation. And so, you know, what would I say to a lot of you guys? What do I say to myself when I was in the same kind of mindset? I would say this is, it's early. Don't give up. Never give up. Work. Put yourself out there. The path that you need to take is one that is going to be overcoming your fears. It's going to be a long one. Be willing to do that. Don't seek validation from other people. Don't seek external validation. Build your self-worth, build your confidence, do the things that are going to make you feel good about yourself without the acceptance or approval of others. When you need that, when you feel like you need that, you will come across needy and you will repel people, and it will make it impossible to get what you're after. The reason why a lot of you can't get it is because you want it so bad, because you need it. It comes off as needy, and nobody likes that. It repels. You want to be attractive? Offer value to people. How do you offer value to people? By being a person that people want to be around, by being a person who is confident and happy within themselves and doesn't need other people, but adds to their lives. That doesn't, quote, love people for what they can get from them, but because genuinely loves and reaches out to people and cares about people regardless of what they get. Any kind of fault, any kind of love, any kind of sentiment, any kind of thing that you do for someone in kindness, where if they don't respond in kind, you will respond in anger or violence or cruelty or hate, is not true and genuine to begin with. And people can sense that. And that's why you are rejected. So anyway, I hope this video helps some of you. It's a hard video to make. It's a scary video that he video that he put out here. And yeah, but there's lessons in it. All right, guys, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button down below. Join the Bulldog mindset. Become a Bulldog. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.